Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will teach you how to make gold in Lost Ark. I will show you what I do to make gold, what makes me happy to do making gold. Before we get into the video, I would like to quickly mention that Exit Lag right now have a big giveaway ongoing. They are giving away a few hundred Exit Lag subscriptions for 1 month through their social media platforms, which I think it was Twitter and Facebook. So if you have Twitter and Facebook and if you want to go there and follow them, you can enter the raffle to win one of these 30 days Exit Lag coupons and maybe try out this lovely MMORPG Lost Ark while you're at it, because it's super worth it. I have a video in the description below on how to try it. Every single step, it's really easy, it takes 5 minutes of your time. I also wanted to say a huge thank you to those of you who are supporting me with the paid membership here on YouTube. And if there's some of you that like me or my work and want to support me and don't know, I do have this feature on my YouTube channel in which you can join the Mad Lad crew, the pirate crew, and support me through this join button right here. Now let's get into the moolah, guys. First thing I want to mention is that raiding gives you gold, and quite a nice amount of it. Raid bosses drop you these materials every time you harvest the soul of it, and not only they give you fewer materials but still give you even if you don't harvest a soul. And then these mats you exchange them for these rings, and these rings you exchange them for these rune boxes. What you can do with these rune boxes, I have one in my bag, I'm gonna show you. You can sell it on the auction house. People pay decent money for them because people will always need runes for raiding. People will always need to swap their runes from this to that, so that means you're gonna make decent money out of it. Let's see how much it costs today at the moment of this recording. 85 gold for this particular rune box. The more raid bosses you do, the more of these mats you get, and eventually you're gonna make some nice money out of raiding. Keep in mind that if you are good geared to do tier 2 or tier 3 or tier 4 raiding, you can also harvest the souls of tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 if you're at tier 4. The second thing I want to mention is that you can sell these maps that you have in your bag to make gold. You can be alone and sell the map to 3 other players for a cost of X gold. Depending on the rarity of your map and on the item level of your map, it's gonna go more and more expensive if you sell it. You put it on LFG, you sell it to people, you get them in the party, play the song, go inside. Good luck in there. Another good way of making money is to sell these maps. Keep in mind though that, as many of you have told me, you can only get yourself 1 acrasium from these land maps per day. I'm still waiting for you guys to give me a source of that, even though I tend to believe you, but just saying that if you wanna get the chance yourself to get an acrasium and you have 20 maps in your bag, then if you get 1 acrasium, there's no need to continue selling these maps on LFG because you're probably not gonna get another acrasium that day. So you can sell the other 10 next day, right? The third thing I want to mention is the Shillian command board, where you can get gold from 2 different places. One of them is the cube and the elite cube, and the other one is these mining dungeons, right? This is a thing that you need to decide for yourself. What's better for you? Do you have a party that you can do the cube with and finish the diamond version so you can get 150 gold, or do you not and do you like crafting and you want to do these dungeons instead? I'm telling you this because both of these things and everything that's in this board here on the table takes away Shillian orders to enter. So these are common for all of these dungeons. You get 3 per day and then you have to choose. Do I want to get 450 gold per day and some shillings and some bit of other mats like ancient magic, or am I a crafter and I'm sure that I can get more by selling things that I craft on the broker? This requires investigation from your side. This depends on the economy at that point in the game. Is it better for you to craft things and sell? Are you crafting the right things? It is also very important for you to understand what you're crafting. It's important for you to understand what the community wants. Where are the people that spend gold on consumables, at what item level they are, at what raiding boss they are? Do they need shurikens? Do they need Molotov cocktails? Do they need awakening potions for that time? And those are always going to be the items that sell the best. So if you like crafting, then this is the place to do. If you don't like crafting, then this is the place to do. Nobody's ever going to force you that you have to craft and you have to waste your Shillian tickets on these. You're a guy that hates crafting, absolutely fine, you're just gonna do the cube. If you're item level 280 or 300, you can still get some gold out of the cube because you're gonna most likely reach the stage where you get the gold box, which gives you 50 pieces of gold, plus some more maybe if you get lucky enough to have the treasure stage of the cube. And if you're higher item level, you can easily get to platinum or diamond if you have a party for that as well. Another great thing related to these Shillian tickets is the fact that you can make alts that you get to, I don't know, item level 300, and then you can constantly finish at least a gold cube with those tickets from your alts as well. These Shillian tickets are not account shared, they are individual for every character on your account. Every one of them gets 3 a day. So if you do 3 cubes or 3 crafting dungeons on your main, then you log on your alt, you have an alt that's, let's say, item level 380, which is not that hard to get in the long-term run, I'm thinking. And then eventually, when you have 1 or 2 alts like that can finish constantly a platinum cube run, then you get 450 gold per each alt because you finish 3 platinums of cube per day. That's a lot of gold, but obviously everything that is related to gold in Lost Ark takes a lot of time, as getting alts to item level 380 does. A couple of other interesting things that I personally like to do is farm these adventure book materials that people need to unlock here their adventure book and get the rewards. This is very important. These are always gonna go good in terms of gold, not the basic ones that everyone gets, but if you farm specifically these ones that cost a little bit more gold, they are always in low level maps, and if you're at end game and doing end game things, farming these things is always gonna be very easy. And not to mention stuff that you can do on the sea, especially these designs that you can get by doing activities on the sea. They drop more often if you do specific activities on the sea than if you do others, depending on the design, of course. However, they do drop there, and if you do waste your energy of luck, then that's another way of you getting a lot of goodies for yourself, and on top of that, gold from these designs, because people really want to upgrade their boats. The last thing I want to mention, and probably the most important thing that I do to make gold, is playing the auction house. By that I mean buying cheap now when the item is not needed, and selling a lot more expensive later on in a couple of months or in a couple of weeks when people, the majority, is gonna reach that stage when they need that item and they're gonna pay good money for it. I'm talking mostly obviously about foods and combat goods here, but also cards work in the same way. These ship upgrading materials work in the same way, because there's ship upgrade materials that go cheap now because nobody needs to use them, and they're gonna go a lot more expensive when people are gonna get that particular boat and wanna upgrade it, because right now, you know, who has the ghost ship? Nobody. So when they are gonna have the ghost ship, these are gonna sell for a lot more than they do now. This is just like a very simple example. Most of the times it works with combat goods very well, in the sense of right now people are all, or the majority, let's not say we're not talking about the hardcore people here that go really fast and progress. We're talking about the majority, the big blob of people. Now, right now, where are they? What are they doing? Last boss in tier 3. Now look at the tier 4 raiding, use the website Infolao, see what consumables the last boss there is going to need. Or the weekly raid, look into those, what consumables are gonna be needed there, because those are pieces of content that people are gonna farm for a long period of time before new content, better content comes out. And when they farm them for a long period of time, obviously some items that are really important and core for that content are gonna be selling more expensive when the blob reaches to that place. And this is probably the best way of making gold in Lost Ark, playing the auction house. It requires an initial investment from your side, but listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Even if you do this to get the initial amount of gold that you need to buy something cheap, you've seen that something is really good price and you know for sure later on it's gonna sell for a lot. Even doing this is gonna get you back the gold 10 times fold if you're smart, if you plan ahead, and if you learn the game well enough. You don't necessarily, you that's listening to me right now, don't necessarily need to do this now in Russia, but what you can do now is to prepare for when the game is gonna come out for your region. Look around on the auction house, look what's the status here. Don't necessarily look how much gold is spent here for this and that, but look at the variation of prices, look at what items are in demand now, and look what items are gonna be in demand in February when there's gonna be a new patch with Lancemaster and whatever, a new tier of raid or what's gonna come, guild, GVG. So these are the things that you need to learn now in Russia, not how to make gold in Russia. Nobody cares about how to make gold in Russia. Learn now so you can have a great life. That's why you're testing the game, to have a great life whenever the game is gonna come out in your region. Are these the only ways to make gold that I've talked about in this video? Absolutely not. There's like a million other ways of making gold, right? You can do, you can carry people in raids. If you have a very strong 3-man pre-made, you can take a 4th that's gonna pay you. Who's gonna pay you here in Russia to be carried for no particular reason? Probably nobody. Again, I'm coming back to testing. At least what you can do is, if you do have 2 other friends, start practicing these kinds of raids, start practicing tier 3, start practicing tier 4 in a 3-man when you get there. So then later on, when the game comes out in NA or EU, you're gonna be ready to sell to people and know what you're doing and what you need to do in order to sell that particular run. It's all about testing. You can do a lot of other things for gold, things that you guys probably know, and I'm not even gonna mention them because they're really just plain ass things that just give you some gold. That's all I wanted to talk about today in terms of making gold, guys. Let me know your ways of making gold in the comments below. Maybe someone in the chat that reads the comments is going to like your way and do it himself because it fits him as a player. I wished PvP would give more gold, or at least any gold really, but from PvP, besides the gladiator seal, which is a nice seal but not necessarily something that people are going to buy, and it's also very expensive in terms of tokens. There's nothing really else that you can make a stable or a decent amount of gold from. This particular card is also selling, but it costs so much. Everything from PvP costs so much. That's why I didn't even mention anything PvP related. Maybe in the future, God knows, who knows. Until my next video, guys, I wish you lots of love. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you really soon. Stay safe.